I graduated high school in June of 2021, and what I noticed was that everyone else that graduated fell into two different paths. One path, you'd go to university, pursue a degree, and eventually get a job, work that job, work up the corporate ladder, and get complacent. Option number two is you drop out. University's not for me, I'm gonna drop out and live a little. That was me. But it wasn't the good type of dropout. It was the type of dropout that after you drop out, you get a job, and that's good. But you're not working towards anything. You drop out, then you get a job, and now you're smoking weed every day. You're not going to the gym. You are getting complacent as hell. Because it's so easy to when you're making like $1,300 a week and you don't go to school. You have no homework. Just sit back and relax. I'm going to be telling you the journey that I had from going from a dropout who was complacent, smoking weed almost every day, to now living a life that is very difficult and challenging, yet rewarding, and that has led me to entrepreneurship, which is going to be growing throughout 2024, and I know I'm going to be making even more significant progress. I want to share with you my journey from complacency to entrepreneur. So, what did I do when I graduated? Well, I graduated with absolutely terrible grades, and I probably would have had even worse if it wasn't for COVID, because so many of my tests were online, and so many of my tests I cheat. I literally would take my test on this computer, and then I would position the camera right here so you wouldn't see that there's an upper screen, and then I would highlight the answer of the test question, put it into quotations in the Google search bar, and then from there it would find me an exact source that has that exact question, then I would find the answer. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, so naturally, when they give you an option that easy to cheat, you're gonna take it. So after I cheated my way through high school, I ended up applying for a visual effects program. This is to do stuff like 3D animations, motion captures, stuff on like Nuke, Autodesk Maya, all that stuff. I thought it was for me because I liked video editing. Naively, I thought if I want to do video editing as a job, then I need to take a degree that's for video editing, or in the same realm of video editing, when I could have just used my skills out the bat to get right going, but I didn't want to. So I ended up hating that program. It zapped absolutely everything from me. I mean, that was some of the most draining computer work that there ever was. So I quit. The program started in September of 2021, and I quit in December. I didn't even make it to Christmas break. I just stopped showing up to my classes. I ghosted all of my teachers, and I ended that with a D in all of my classes, plus dropping out. So now on my transcript, it will now show D in every single course I've taken in university. I've got a D, and then on top of that, I've now also got dropout on my record. So I'm pretty much fucked. I can't go back to university. Not necessarily sad about that, but that's a bridge that I burnt off for sure. But the reason why I quit, I mean, I had somewhat of an idea. I wanted to work in the film industry. I knew someone that had a connection, and I thought, you know what, I'm doing visual effects, I'll get in the film industry anyways, but why don't I actually start working in it, right? That makes a lot of sense. So I ended up getting a job in the film industry about 2 months after that I dropped out. In about February, I started working, $345 a day, and it's like $1,300 a week after taxes. You're giving away your freedom. I was giving away 15-hour days. I had no time for the gym, no time to eat healthy. I looked like shit. And I was making a ton of money, and where was that money going? Like most naive 18-year-olds, that money was either being flushed down the drain or going to a car. Now, I love cars, don't get me wrong, but at the time, I had a 2007 Subaru WRX, and it was great, but it was taking all my money. every dollar I had would go into the next part, the next thing to work on. And I was living lifestyle servitude. I mean, I was literally being held down, no longer by the school system, but I was being held down by my own choices. My own choices forced me to need to save $1,000 a week, otherwise I couldn't drive my car the way I wanted to. So it's all going like this now. I'm making a ton of money, I'm working on my car, it's going great. Then there was a strike. There was a 190-day strike that started in April and went to November, I believe, of 2022. That strike absolutely ruined me. I was out of work. I was doing DoorDash to supplement the income, but it was nowhere close to enough, and I was still making the same buying choices. Thankfully, I didn't have a credit card at the time. I don't want to know what would have happened. But after a while, from about June or April of 2023, something changed. I was just sick and tired of it. It was a cycle. So in August, I believe, I sold my Subaru for $11,500. I bought it for $13,000, and I put at least $10,000 into it. I'd say closer to $15,000, which obviously with a car you're not going to make your money back. But hey, it was fun while it lasted. I learned a lot, and I finally had my glimpse at financial freedom. $11,500. What would you do right now with $11,500? Now, I'm not going to tell you a story where I completely blew it on hookers and cocaine. What I did do was pretty crucial in my whole role of entrepreneurship, and I don't regret it at all. And I think if you have the money, spending it on a life experience like this, what I'm about to say, is a lot better than something materialistic. At the same time that I sold my Subaru, I was living the self-improvement dream, I guess you could say. It was summertime. I was just about to go away for a trip to Europe, and I had, before I sold the Subaru, I had about $3,000 saved up in my bank account. So now I had about $14,000 in my bank account. I didn't have a job. I didn't do DoorDash. Every day I would go to the park, and it was nice and sunny out. I'd go there with my dog. We would read, or I would read. My dog doesn't know how to read. Once again, I would do calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, whatever, anything that I could do. That was the true glimpse at what I want in the future. It couldn't last forever, but it was nice. But anyways, so I had all that money. I went on my Europe trip, and I found out that when we were watching a football game, sorry, I should really say that with that back there. When we were watching a football game at Anfield, one of my friends, he noticed the photographers on the sideline. He's like, "Hey Ali, you really like photography. Like, imagine being that guy. You probably get flown out all across Europe, get to take insane pictures, and also get to sit pitch side at your favorite soccer team." And so that sort of flicked a switch in me. My mind was open to new ways of being unlocked at that time. I was cutting past limiting beliefs, but I didn't really know what to do with it. And he just gave me the key. He sort of told me, like, you have to follow this. Like, you probably want to do this. And he was right. So when I went home, I started a photography business, and that ended up kicking off decently. And then I transitioned it into businesses, transitioned that into a digital service. And now I'm running a business that works with other businesses all across Canada. And I think I'm really going to make an impact in the detailing scene, specifically for the service that I provide. And by the end of 2024, even by summer, who knows what's going to happen. But hey, this is exactly where that stigma comes in about university. People think that if you drop out, you're going to become a bum. And that's because there's so many fucking bums in this world that when you drop out, you're so susceptible to getting a job, just like the rest of the 90% of people that drop out and get a job. They end up working, they smoke weed every day, they go out, they drink on the weekends. They're never progressing, and they just end up becoming bums. And that's exactly what you don't want to fall into. So when it comes to university dropouts, you got person A and person B. Person A is a fucking bum, and they're 90% of the world today. Person A decides to drop out and then also get a job, and that job pays decently. They're not really contributing a whole lot to society. and then they end up just smoking weed every day, going out on weekends and partying and whatever. They're roadkill, basically. Person B, however, they finally see opportunity and they take risk. And from that risk builds consistency, and consistency builds results. So which person are you going to be? Because nowadays, a lot of people are going either the option A person, or they're going the university route, pursuing a degree that they don't actually like in order to fulfill someone else's needs, being their parents. You should wake up every day excited to work, excited to do the thing that you want to do. I love doing videos like this. I love working with my clients. I love getting their messages and seeing that they love the content that I'm producing. It feels good. It makes me excited to do it again. Yet we've got this stigma that that's bad, that work should be bad, work should be hard. It should, well, of course it's hard, but work should be unrewarding, and it should only be for monetary gain. And this is exactly where so many people get tripped up. And on top of that, think about it. 2 to 4 years in a degree in university. Imagine if you spent the first 2 years of that working on the gym and working on your mental health, and then the other 2 years on your business. You should spend all the 4 years on your business, but even if you did that, that would be an extremely successful route. And this is something that no one sees. People know it's there, but they're too scared to take the risk, and that's why everyone's gonna die broke, I'm telling you. And do you think that once you get a degree that you are guaranteed work? You're nuts. I mean, that works for some degrees. Some degrees are really in demand right now. I know someone that's currently, they've got an engineering degree at one of the best universities in Canada. That degree, I think, takes you about 4 years to complete, and he got it 2 years ago. He's finished his courses 2 years ago. He's got the degree. He can't find work. It's been 2 years, and he has been looking for a job, and he still can't find one. Now, that's not his fault. I mean, he took one of the most demanding degrees for one of the best universities in Canada. How is he not a sought-after human? He's probably super knowledgeable, right? But no, that's just straight up not how it works. However, when you're an entrepreneur, you don't wait for someone to need you. You make the need. That's what you learn. That's how entrepreneurs grow, is they find needs and they solve them. They find problems and make solutions. And that's what you should spend 4 years learning. Because in 4 years, you're going to progress way more than someone that spends 4 years or 2 years in a degree. I've been in this for 3 or 4 months. What I'm going to be doing in 4 years is 30, 40, 50,000 a month. That number is incapable to some people. But when you put your life into entrepreneurship, you see the opportunities. So if you've made it this far in the video, which I really hope you have, because I don't want some fucking spurg with no attention span watching my videos, then I encourage entrepreneurship. And I really think you should pursue it. Because think about this. I dropped out, and for about a year and a half, I wasted my life. What if you didn't go to university and gave yourself 1 year and a half, but you specifically worked on yourself and specifically sought out the hard tasks to do and you did them? What if you spent that 1 year and a half on entrepreneurship and grew rather than throwing your life away like I did? And it's not over for me. It's not over. But I could have caught it a lot sooner, and that's only something that I can prevent for more people going forward. If you have an entrepreneurial mindset, do not go to university. If you have a skill, do not go to university. Excel your learning of that skill online through online courses, because that is the most you're going to learn in a compact way. Now I understand, for some of you guys, you got parental pressure, peer pressure, even to go to a good university. Now, you are an adult now, and you can make your own decisions. You're probably 17 or 18. You might have to live at home, but for the most part, be strong and put your foot down and just tell your parents, no, I'm gonna give it my all. And they'll trust you. They'll trust you if you can actually show them action. A year and a half, 2 years ago, I was a bum. If I told my parents I wanted to drop out of university and pursue entrepreneurship, they wouldn't believe me. Now, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. to record videos like this, to then work on my business, and I'm constantly busy. I don't tell them about it, they just see it happen because we live in the same house. So show them through action. If you have another 4, 5, 6 months of high school before you go to university and you haven't decided your program yet for uni, or if you're 6 months out from deciding, then just try to seek out the hard things in life for the next 6 months. Improve in the gym. Wake up earlier than your parents for 6 months, and I guarantee you will be the man of the house, and you will tell them what you're doing, and they'll think that you're right. Maybe you don't know exactly what business to start, and I get it. Everyone online is telling you so many different things. The one thing I can tell you is to take action. Take action on what's on your mind right now. You're not going to find your purpose right now, but you're going to find your purpose through experimenting. So what you should do, whatever is on your mind the most. Oh, do I start drop shipping? Do I start SMMA? Do I start YouTube? Whatever is on your mind the most, take action on that one thing. And I'm telling you, continue doing that until you branch out. Then you'll understand, because you don't know what you don't know. I'm going to say that again. You don't know what you don't know. You are completely oblivious to the darkness. So what I recommend is to just, whatever you're thinking, try it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you're going to try that one thing and go, oh, that's how that works. So then I can combine this. I can do this, and then accelerate my business through this added piece of value. And hey, maybe you made it to the end of this video and you still think you're going to go to university. And if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, brain surgeon, fine, by all means. I don't want my brain surgery to be done by someone who's learnt on Fiverr. However, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you're still thinking about going to university, you need to reconsider. Because it's either you're going to get the wake-up call now from this video, and this video is going to result in you taking action and waking up early, starting tomorrow, but starting doing action today. Otherwise, you're going to go to university and realize, hey, it was never for me. And 4 years down the line, of 4 years of complacency, you're going to realize that has to be the turning point. And that's when it's going to hit you. I wasted 4 years of my life. I wasted 1.5 years of mine. Imagine if I wasted 4. So, the choice is in your hands. I told you my story. I told you what I'd do differently. And the only thing that's left next is for you to take action. What's on your mind right now? Get it